One of the most important things that I've learned in college thus far is that being alert in class is extremely important. However, this is something I definitely can't always practice. As a potential or current college student, you probably do or will feel tired all the time. According to the University of Georgia, most college students get around 6 to 6.9 hours of sleep per night. I have an 8 a.m. class every other day, so being fully engaged in class can be a little bit of a challenge when staying up the night before to study or just do homework. 8 a.m. classes in high school seem so much easier because you don't have to stay up as late doing work. No matter how much I sleep, sometimes I still feel like I'm dragging myself to class in the morning. From a very young age, we're told to get around 8 hours of sleep per night, but sometimes I sleep more than that and I still feel extremely exhausted. College students are some of the most sleep-deprived citizens. Sleep deprivation can lead to a variety of health issues. In the beginning of my first semester, I felt very tired and stressed all the time. I also had this idea in my mind that I could make up for sleep by sleeping extra hours one night. And that is one common myth about sleep. You cannot make it up. Feeling more rested is a little bit more complicated than and requires a little bit more work. I also noticed that a lot of my classmates were saying that they had a lot of anxiety or restlessness issues. They felt on edge a lot of the time because they decided to mix lack of sleep with caffeine, and that's never a good idea. A few weeks ago, I was tired of being tired all the time, and so I decided to take to the internet and search up some ways that I could feel more rested. Of course, the first few articles were about getting 8 hours of sleep per night. After changing up my search a little bit, I found a pamphlet from the Florida Institute of Technology. James Olschlinger from Counseling and Psychological Services created it. Something that caught my eye immediately was the phrase sleep cycle. This phrase had seemed familiar to me in the past, but I really didn't think much of it. I didn't know how important it was until after reading this pamphlet. Essentially, every 90 to 120 minutes, your body goes through what is called a sleep cycle. The intermediate parts of the cycle can be a little bit confusing. I will try to link a few sites where you can read more about it. Say you're up late one night studying for a test. If you went to sleep at 12 and woke up at 7 for your 8 a.m. class, you would be mid-sleep cycle. Now, when you really think about it, you're close to the amount of hours that people say that you need, but it's all about the sleep cycle. It's not really about the amount of hours that you get. So you could be going to class feeling more tired than you think you should have just because you were mid-sleep cycle and your body was in a deep sleep when you awoke. Now, after reading this information for the first time, I did not follow it at all. I was way too busy to try to keep track of my sleep cycles and make sure that I was getting the correct amount of sleep. On the pamphlet that I read, I saw that there were some things to avoid for getting a better night's sleep. Some things I did change, like the time that I exercised. On the website, it said to forgo regular exercise at night. That was one small change I was able to make. However, because of my busy schedule, some of the habits remained. Eating late at night was on the list of methods to enhance sleep. Like most college students, you may be able to agree with me when I say that eating late at night is something that we all do. Most of us tend to either wake up later or skip breakfast entirely, pushing all of our meals back. I never feel rested enough in the mornings to get up and make a breakfast or go and get breakfast somewhere. My eating habits are just one of the many things on the list that I can't change because it's either too expensive or my schedule is just too hectic. About a week later, I was more stressed than I had ever been. I was sleeping a lot less and finding it really hard to focus in classes. I searched online again, and this time with the phrase sleep cycle, and the first link I found really interesting because it was actually about an app. I read the different tabs on the website about how it works, and essentially you place your phone next to you in bed and it monitors how you sleep. It can feel how heavy you are, making it easy for it to tell you when you're awake or when you're in a deep sleep. You set a time that you want it to wake you up, and your phone will gently start going off in a 30-minute period when it feels that your body is most awake or less heavy. I saw a lot of positive reviews on the App Store, so I decided to give it a chance. It was only 99 cents, so I figured I didn't have much to lose, and it was honestly the best 99 cents that I've spent so far in college. After using this app, when I woke up, I felt more rested and more awake. Throughout the week, I also noticed that my sleep cycles were becoming less sporadic and more regular. It isn't about the amount of sleep that you have, it's about the quality. When trying to feel more awake, focus on the amount of sleep cycles you have rather than just the amount of hours that you have. I propose that every college student should have the following two apps. Number 1 is Sleep Cycle, and number 2 is Power Nap, all by the same company. Sleep Cycle allows you to monitor your sleep patterns and you wake up feeling more rested. Power Nap allows you to rejuvenate yourself throughout the day and kind of get yourself through a really stressful time. Apps are great if you are a college student on a budget. Trying to buy healthy food and exercising in college is really hard to do. I like to use these apps because it makes waking up in the morning a lot less of a struggle. These apps are extremely helpful and require little effort since you might already be really stressed out. I highly recommend that you purchase these apps and enjoy your new quality of sleep.